30 plus years running. He's promising this and he's stealing that. Where can you get that kind of money? He's using your house like his own piggy bank. You ought to know by now. You can pay off your house here in Illinois, but you can never keep up with the taxes. Oh, how it's always been the plan to have a taxpayer pay, no doubt. Not a matter of if anymore, but when you're moving out. I said, when you're moving out.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, fresh off her success in cleaning up Chicago. Mayor Triple Threat has now been tapped to clean up Dalton, at least Dalton, the Tiffany Henyard version, because, Dalton has been a wreck since, at least the Shaw brothers, if not before. But I digress. I know we don't have any institutional memory in Chicago, not even enough to remember Lori Lightfoot's tenure as mayor.
Yeah, I mean, Lori Lightfoot to the rescue, a standing room only, and she got a standing ovation.
To appoint Lori E. Lightfoot as special investigator for the Village of Dalton. Motion passed.
And she's ready for the challenge, Dan.
I will follow the facts where they lead without bias and reserve comments from this night forward until the work is complete. I'm a very determined person. We are prepared to do what is necessary to get to the facts.
And that's all well and good, but, guess what? Tiffany Henyard.
It's not all well and good. She's a joke.
You don't think that this is a brilliant move? I mean, she's a former lawyer, federal prosecutor, and a mayor. Well, who else are they going to assign?
She's a current lawyer.
Dan Webb? Current lawyer, right.
She's a current lawyer. Yeah, you're right. The two attorneys that you know, the former U.S. Attorney Dan Webb, who's in the news, the media attorneys, and the former mayor. Those are the only choices available.
She wants to charge $400 an hour. Well, people in the village.
She doesn't want to charge.
She's going to.
Lori will get answers. She's that good.
It would be a good idea, get some kind of idea about what's going on.
I mean, somebody needs to. Because if everybody burying their head, this stuff just going to keep on happening.
Mm-hmm. Here again, you run into you run beyond, actually, the reaches of my empathy. The Edgar County Watchdogs wrote their first story about Tiffany Henyard in September of 2021.
Oof. Long time ago.
They sent FOIA requests that went unanswered. Maybe they should hire John and Kirk from the Edgar County Watchdogs, the Village of Dalton, since they were on the story before that heroic city council was. Oh, no, they're honkies from downstate. What do they know? So now we're going to pay $400 an hour to play politics. So you want me to choose between Lori Lightfoot and Tiffany Henyard? I choose neither. And you want me to care about the plight of Dalton? I don't. Sorry. The mess that the residents of Dalton have made over generations. Are there good people there? Sure. Are there good people in Chicago? Of course. Are there good people in Illinois? Because you're otherwise a good person and you play by the rules doesn't absolve you of responsibility for what happens around you. All this, I mean, honestly, this white hat, black hat stuff, does it ever get old? Does that false, nonsensical, maniacal commitment to homerism, I got to pick a side, does that ever get old when there's no good sides? Lori Lightfoot's serious about what? Her public profile? Her rehabilitation? She's going to clean up Dalton? What, she's going to issue some report?
Well,
by the way,
this probably not going to happen. I mean, Henyard,
who cares?
Well, she has the power to veto Lightfoot's appointment.
Yeah, and then they'll override it. So what? Yeah. So what? She's going to issue a report, just like Dan Webb issued a report on Kim Foxx. So what? What are you going to do? Nothing. And by the way, the other part of the story, those G-men, corruption busters over at the Chicago field office of the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, joke. Federal, state, local, Attorney General Raul, Cook County State's Attorney Fox. It's a joke. And you pick sides in this joke at your own peril. The only thing that is deserving of people who pick sides and pretend there's something substantive going on, what they deserve is to be mocked for their relentless ignorance. Relentless, unyielding ignorance about their own block, about their own community, and certainly about this state. Yeah. I care about Dalton. I don't. For more on this, Ted Dabrowski, president of Wirepoints, joins us. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. Hey, it's going to be hard for me to be more negative than you about this. So,
give it a try.
Well, let me give it a try. Well, what's interesting is, first question you ask is, you got a mayor, and of course she wasn't a successful one, and I was never a fan before she took office, during office, or after. I didn't believe in her, and luckily I was right. But here you have a mayor or ex-mayor of one of the major cities of the country, who, in my opinion, and it's all silly, it's stooping down to do something for $400 an hour in a town that's become a ridicule. And look, in theory, it should be easy pickings, right? This is going to be pretty easy stuff to know what.
Yeah, of course. We already know. All she's going to document is what we already know.
Right. Yeah, and the community's going to spend $400 an hour. She's going to spend a lot of money. Trust me. The FBI is looking at it already. So this is, like you said, it's a joke. I'm not sure why they're doing it, what it means, other than it's part of a show. But don't need Lightfoot to do this. The FBI will need to come in just because it's going to take a little bit of a.
Oh yeah, the FBI when they get around to it, they're so busy, cleaning up corruption in so many other places in Chicagoland. What a joke! Yeah. What a joke! And the thing too, before I you don't care about Dalton because it's black. No, I don't care about the honky white suburbs too, which I make very clear all the time. You know why? Because the residents of those communities, whether it's Naperville or Hinsdale or Wilmette, sorry Ted, or Dalton. Well, you don't care about your communities. Why should I? Why should I rally? It's like we're talking about the firefighters. Why do I have to rally around this flag? Because now you feel slighted. Because now you're suffering the consequences of what of the choices you made. Now you're reaping what you have sown, and so forth. Why? And it's now I'm the bad person if I don't care, if I don't fall in line. Pound sand. Live it.
Well, it's the same thing, right? They allow it. They perpetuate it. It happens. This is Illinois. It's the story of Illinois, right? And we collectively, except for those who've already escaped, help perpetuate this. So if you're not fighting, you're part of the problem.
Yeah. And in other news, now we finally settled this contest. Illinois is number one. So, those people still tethered to the idea that New Jersey has the highest property taxes in the nation. Again, please update your scorecards. Illinois is the national champion, since we're in that time of the year, when it comes to the highest property taxes in the nation, where property tax rate as percentage of home value is about 50% higher in Illinois than the median in the country, right?
Yeah. So Adam, which collects all kinds of data on real estate, they've come out and said we're number one. And I don't follow New Jersey enough in terms of what it's doing on a day-to-day basis in terms of property taxes, but I do know what happens in Illinois. And ever since Governor Pritzker in 2020 said we must do something about property taxes, nothing's been done. And not only has nothing been done, but you can watch, across the board, across the state, levies have gone up by the maxes pretty much everywhere. And then, of course, a few referendum have won. And so you've got taxes going up, up, up. And at the same time, of home values doing very poorly relative to the rest of the country. So, this effective tax rate, right, which is how much you pay in taxes versus your home value, It keeps going up, and it's a bad deal, and it's becoming more and more obvious every day.
Just speaking of things continuing to drift right along, so BLM Brandon, he's the new mayor. So much different than the old mayor, who was so much different than that old mayor before her. Now he is going to ask the city council, right. He's going to tell the city council, yeah, I do want that $70 million. I wasn't sure if I wanted for migrants. So, the beat rolls on.
Yeah, the tally rolls on. I think I saw a new number out the other day, but the thing is that tracking all this spending on migrants, it's hard because the numbers are coming. The spending is coming from everywhere. Like we don't even think about how much we spend on schools on migrants. It's really high. So nothing's changed there. Crime numbers keep starting to get worse this year. They were a little bit better at the beginning of the year. Now they're getting worse, and I think all these bad things will continue to pile up as we continue the year and we head towards the DNC.
More good news. Again, trying to be more negative than I am. It's not even negative. It's just a description of what is. Reality is what's particularly negative. I'm sorry. I'm as I've said many times before. If you want beautiful lies about Chicago and Illinois, go elsewhere. You can go almost anywhere else, and you can get the beautiful lies. You can talk to people who have to tell themselves the beautiful lies over and over again to get through the day. But that's not me. So we have more small to mid-size urban centers around the state already decaying, have been for generations. Nobody's particularly noticed or particularly cared. And certainly in a lot of those communities, they've either elected Vichy Republicans or Democrats too over the years. So do I have empathy for Gene Hackman's hometown of Danville? Not really. But we have more big-name companies closing their facilities in Illinois, don't we?
Yeah, we do. There's Quaker Oats, 500 people leaving Danville, and that struck a chord in me when I saw that because one of the first pieces we did at Wirepoints back in late 2017, early 2018 was how Danville was just getting whacked. Now a lot of that stuff happens to happen from, like you said, local people voting for bad things, and of course, a big part of that comes from state mandates. Pensions, the workers' comp costs, the property taxes, binding arbitration, all those top-down mandates which really strangle cities like Danville, like a Decatur, like a Peoria, and we're seeing it play out. I tell you, I've spent a lot of time in these cities, and you drive around, you can't help feel decline. You can't help but see the decline. You see it in the homes. People, you're not going to make that $10,000 and $15,000 or $20,000 renovation or improvement to your house. The house value is going to go down and your property taxes go up. You're just not going to do it. So when you see homes start to look tired, they start to look more tired because people just kind of give up. You can see that. You just drive around Danville, drive around areas of Decatur. It's not.
Oh my God.
Not a good
Galesburg. Oh my God.
The Galesburg hasn't recovered from Maytag leaving
I know.
like 25 years ago.
Every house or every other house is for sale. It's so sad, and I don't know how they're ever going to come back.
Well, look, and the big thing, we did a manufacturing piece the other day is because we've destroyed. We make it so damn difficult for manufacturing companies to stay in Illinois. We chase them out. We say, hey, we're going to make it really expensive on property taxes, on workers' comp, all those things I just talked about. We're going to make unions, the public sector unions, so powerful that it's just too expensive to operate here. And what do? These companies leave because that's the obvious thing to do. Look, the population is moving to Tennessee and Carolina and Texas. The company's going to do the exact same thing.
Ted Dabrowski, President Wirepoints, wirepoints.org, all things Illinois policy related. Thanks as always, Ted. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Your show keeps me alive during the week. There's nobody I'd rather listen to between 5 and 9 in the morning than you guys.
On AM 560, The Answer.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the